A delay is not a denial from God. It truly does not have to be a denial, even though that something that you feel called for or feel called to have or do is not here yet, right? Very often we, with our human mind, tend to set an expectation as to when we are to receive something, when we are to accomplish something, when we are to receive something and do something. And we have this sense of urgency, this sense of pride that maybe we think we know best when we ought to have something in our life, whether it be a relationship, whether it be a community, whether it be um, your calling and your sense of work and your sense of purpose. We tend to set a timeline and then we hold ourselves sort of hostage and like a prisoner to our own timeline. But what I've come to realize is that this life works very non-linearly. It doesn't work as linearly as we maybe want it to turn out or want it to progress or want it to unfold. It works non-linearly. And when it works non-linearly, we never really know how things are going to turn out and when it's going to turn out and if it's ever going to turn out exactly the way that we want it to turn out. So we're torn between our wants and our desires, between how we want it to turn out and how it actually will turn out. And faith to me is being able to have the faith in the face of uncertainty, to have courage, I would say, in the face of the unknown. And so we got to then remind ourselves, we ought to pray, God, keep reminding me that a delay is not a denial from you, God. Even though that I experience a delay right now in my journey with, let's say, getting pregnant or getting married or getting into a relationship or maybe getting out of a relationship or maybe moving forward in your career or with a creative project, even though that it's not happening right now, doesn't mean that it will never happen. A delay is not a denial from God. It doesn't have to be. It can be. I want to entertain that thought too, that a delay can be a denial from God. It absolutely can be. But we will never really truly know whether the delay is a denial or if it's not. But in most cases, a delay is not a denial from God. A delay is just sometimes you being at a point in the journey where you don't necessarily see the full picture of what's going to happen, and maybe you have put your mind onto like the end result, but that doesn't take away from the fact that you're being grown right now, that you are growing through some seasons and some lessons right now. There are lessons for you to receive right now. So a delay can actually be a blessing, because if we just would get everything that we set our mind to immediately as we wish for it, then there wouldn't be a sense of appreciation or thankfulness necessarily at all. We would just become slaves to our own wishes and wants and desires and lust and all of these things. So a lot of the time the fulfilling things, they are earned. The fulfilling relationships, they are earned because they include a lot of delays. And when there are delays, you truly have your spirit grow, your soul grow, your sense of grit and endurance grow. And if there's no delays whatsoever, which is not realistic at all, then we tend to fall into unthankfulness and taking things for granted. So I'd encourage you right now to look at your life and be like, where am I experiencing delays right now? And how might this be intentionally put in my life right now for me to find thankfulness in that and to grow through this delay? Because there is an opportunity for you there. And it's just about having the faith, to have the courage to meet the delay with faith. So, delay is not necessarily a denial from God. A delay doesn't mean that it's not in the cards for you, that it's not promised for you. It can be, like I said, because sometimes we think for ourselves what we think would be better for us, and we might do the exact same things as someone else does, but for us it doesn't turn out the same way. And why is that? It's because we have unique gifts, we have unique timelines, we are unique. And so whatever we will do will not necessarily be able to replicate the same result. We can replicate what other people do, but we won't necessarily be able to know for sure whether we'll have the same exact replicated result as someone else, because we're non-linear, we're unique, and it's important to keep that in mind. So that was a little message for you now. A delay is not a denial from God. Feel free to reach out to me if you feel like you have a sense of delay in your life right now. And take it also to God. I mean, that's what I do. And it brings a sense of peace in the face of uncertainty, in the face of the delay. And it's just about being honest about it and not necessarily suppressing it or repressing it and being ignorant to the delay, but more so just welcoming it and honoring the delay for what it is, and allow God to be there with you in the delay, because you're not alone in the delay. You're guided. You have a guide. You have a connection to the all knowing. So when we know that and we can connect to that and nourish that relationship, it's as if the sense of peace increases. It's as if you are able to open yourself up to receive that peace, to be able to navigate what seems to be a delay to your human mind, but it might not be to God. Sending you so much love from me to you, and stay courageous in the face of the delay.